welcome to the Daily Decrypt, as good a home as any for currency competition. I'm your host, Amanda B. Johnson, and today's episode is brought to you by BitShares. You may have heard of the Internet of Things, or IoT, which is a burgeoning reality in which our devices are internet-enabled and they can be controlled remotely. Slock.It is a project working to take the IoT a step further, creating the software which enables physical locks to be open and closed upon receiving cryptocurrency payments executed by smart contracts. Here to tell us more is Slock.It co-founder Christoph Jentz.
In short, we are creating locks which can be opened by paying money. We are of course using the blockchain for doing so by connecting the blockchain to Internet of Things devices. So basically any smart device out there which has an open API, and if they don't have an open API, then we can connect to the manufacturer to get one. The reason why we are doing this, there are several reasons. One, of course, is the sharing economy, to make it possible for someone to rent out a property by locking it with a smart lock, and then people can open it by paying money. So, for example, a door lock, which could be implemented in an Airbnb, so people could pay to open it. We also work with spike locks and padlocks, power outlets, so all sorts of things which we connect to the blockchain. Long-term, our vision is much broader, thinking about machine-to-machine communication. So, for example, we work together with a German energy company called RWE. They are building car charging stations for electric cars. So we are connecting them to the blockchain so cars can pay their energy themselves. They even to the step when you're waiting in front of a red traffic light, your car could be charged by induction, and there's no time for swiping a credit card or anything like this. It's only like 5 or 10 seconds, so you only pay 5 to 10 cents for the energy you get there. So this is there the car needs to pay for the energy. So making it possible for things to pay and receive payments is something we aim to do.
Neat. And now, how long has this been in the works? Is this something that you thought was possible as early as a few years ago, thinking like with Bitcoin, or were you thinking of this even before cryptocurrency was invented, or?
So my first notes I found in my notebook about this was about August 2014.
Okay.
So actually when I started working for Ethereum, but I know I would need Ethereum to work for this. So I worked full-time for Ethereum, and sometimes I did on the weekend or in the evening did some working on prototyping some smart contracts for this. And I think in summer 2015 I built a prototype together with my brother, the door lock. And then I think it was August or September 2015 Stefan Tool joined to work full-time for Slock.It. And yeah, then I'm working full-time for this now since beginning of the year. Before this, I also worked for Ethereum. I still do, but not as active as I has been before. So it has evolved.
Okay. And now is Slock.It, is it intended as, would it be correct to say it would be an Ethereum-based DApp? Is that correct?
Yes, okay. You could say this. It's a decentralized application because the locks we are building, of course, completely decentralized and autonomous, meaning they all work without us. It's a completely decentralized applications, and it's actually open source and for anyone free to use and build on top of this. But we will add services around this, which is the way we make profit as a company. But the core product is open source and free for anyone to use, to copy, or adopt, change, whatever they want to. So
the Slock.It software, has it been deployed as a DApp on Ethereum yet? Can I use it?
Only for testing. So there are no locks out there which are used in production.
Got it. So I would need an actual lock.
Yes. I have one example here. Let me show this to you.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
Yes, I can.
This is a lock made by Fast Designs. It's called a No Key.
Okay.
It's basically a smart lock which you control with a smartphone via Bluetooth. And they have a developer version of it, which they made available to us. And so we are putting our software on top of this, and so you will be able to pay to open the lock. Yes, then we have door locks and power outlets, other things. But all of them so you could say you work. Yes, we have each lock has their own contract.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of smart contracts actually on the blockchain, but we only use them for testing. So right now we are not in production mode, and you cannot buy them on Amazon or anything like this.
Mm-hmm.
But we have them working in our lab basically.
Neat. So you're testing the software, and you have people manufacturing these locks with chips in them that will work with your software. And so is it expected that once the locks are finished and shipped, then this Slock.It will be usable?
Yes. So basically those locks, you can buy them today without our software.
Okay.
And
use them with Bluetooth. The lock you have there can currently be used with Bluetooth. And when people unlock it with Bluetooth, are they sending an actual payment to it in some form of cryptocurrency, or?
In the current version, like this product, it works without blockchain, without payments. You can just buy it, and with your app, only you can control it.
Got it.
Just will add the ability to it that you can also allow other people to open it when they pay money. So basically, we add the ability for the lock to receive payments. But this will be live. We hope end of the year we'll have some products you can buy on Amazon maybe where this is already implemented.
Neat.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. And now, could Slock.It live on any blockchain, or is there something that makes it Ethereum specific?
Well, of course, in Ethereum you can make the smart contract, because the smart contract behind the lock, it's actually a simple one. But I cannot do this on the Bitcoin blockchain currently. The smart contract just says the following: there is a deposit and a price. And those two numbers are set by the owner of the lock. So let's, for example, say I use this as my lawnmower, and say I want to have $50 as a deposit and $1 per hour to use it. So then the user would come and scan the QR code. His app would show him this. So he would say, yes, I accept it, I pay the deposit. So then I can use it for as long as I want to. When I return it, it just counts the time on the blockchain and gives me the deposit minus the costs back, and the costs go to the owner. This is the smart contract which is implemented on the Ethereum blockchain, where this lock is connected to.
Mm-hmm. And now, just for my own knowledge, you said that the smart contract that lock requires to work is not currently possible, for example, on the Bitcoin blockchain. What is it that Ethereum has, which Bitcoin does not have, which make the lock possible?
The Turing complete programming languages, which can observe the state, can store some data which belongs to a certain account. So maybe that you could do it in some way on the Bitcoin blockchain. I would need to check. Maybe it's actually possible, but not in this current form. In a much, much simpler version, maybe. But why should we do this if you can do it much easier on the Ethereum blockchain? And then there comes the next thing, which is definitely not possible on the Bitcoin blockchain. We are building a DAO, a Decentralized Autonomous Organization, which we use to fund ourselves. And they actually will get a reward each time a Slock is used. So we have implemented as a fee, currently 1%. So when someone is using it, 1% of this costs which a user has to pay goes to this DAO. And this DAO is a completely autonomous organization where anyone can send money to buy tokens of this DAO. And in the DAO, they can vote to send us money. So we can build a product. In this product, we have implemented this reward rule. The DAO gets rewarded when the products are used. And such a DAO could not be implemented on the Bitcoin blockchain. It's way too complex.
All right. So people using the Slock.It dApp would have a certain amount of Ether that they are charged to use the dApp, and 1% of that Ether would go to the Slock.It Decentralized Autonomous Organization account, DAO. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about correct. Yeah.
Okay.
You could say it like that.
Sponsored shout out from ChangeTip, the popular social tipping service, which is soon to be a wallet. ChangeTip is also a sponsor of the upcoming Blockchain Madness Student Tournament, which will be a live global game show style competition among the crypto savviest students at 6 universities. You can learn more about it and other projects which ChangeTip finds most tipworthy at changetip.com/tipworthy. I just wanted to ask your opinion, because I didn't know that you had been an Ethereum developer just for the sake of Ethereum before Slock.It. So that's interesting. And I wanted to ask you, okay, so with the nodes, with the Ethereum blockchain that is going to be hosting the data for lots of dApps, potentially, including at least the Slock.It dApp. What are we talking a super large blockchain? And have you given any thought to what the incentives will be for people to run a blockchain as potentially large as Ethereum's?
So the incentive currently is, of course, the mining. They get Ether. When it comes to the size, first of all, not everything needs to be stored on the blockchain. When you create a decentralized application, you need to be very careful about what processes are critical to be run on the blockchain in a smart contract, and which can be run off-chain with other techniques. For example, for this Slock, there are only 2 transactions actually on the blockchain. When you're renting it, when you're returning it. 2 transactions, that's it. Anything in between, open and closing, you just send signed messages, not on the blockchain. So we actually do not store that much data on the blockchain, only the most crucial and important data. So therefore, we are not filling up the blockchain with data of Slock. All the opening and closing messages are just messages sending peer-to-peer without touching the blockchain, actually. They're just reading from the blockchain to see who is currently allowed to open the Slock. That's all what they need to do. So for incentive, yes, the miner get a reward, and currently this works just fine. But of course, the blockchain will grow, and we need a long-term solution for scalability. So we will not have a problem with scalability for the next couple of years, I guess, like 1 or 2 or 3 years, depending also on which application is running on it. But I think Vitalik's solution of sharding is the one we will use in a couple of, I don't know how much years he needs to implement it, or we need to implement it, but let's say 1, 2, or 3 years at most. And then I hope we will have a scalable Ethereum blockchain.
Mm-hmm. And right, yes. Yeah. And in that same vein, do you have any thoughts on the planned but indefinitely timed switch of proof of work to proof of stake within Ethereum?
Yeah, so this will happen, and it has to happen because we have something, I call it a difficulty bomb, or you could give it different names. But in the current Ethereum blockchain, there is a rule implemented that the difficulty will grow exponentially at a certain time. This will make the blockchain unusable because it's too hard for any miner to find a block. So therefore, there needs to be a hard fork on the Ethereum blockchain. When this time comes, the Ethereum Foundation will offer a fork or a new client where a proof of stake is implemented. Proof of stake is superior to proof of work in the sense that, first of all, it's good for our environment. It saves a lot of energy. Second, it allows already to handle more transactions. So it's actually the first step towards scalability. It's not the final step because it just gets better maybe by 1 order of magnitude. It's not completely scalable, but we need it as a first step. And I am very convinced that all the miners or all the people will update to the new version.
Very good.
Then it comes in about 1 year, I guess.
All right. Well, I think that is just about all of my questions. Do you have, I guess, as a closing question, do you have any sort of wild sounding predictions for what smart objects, the Internet of Things or whatever, in which objects can pay one another? Do you have any sort of predictions of how this can or will be used in the future that maybe doesn't get discussed a lot elsewhere?
Well, I think of completely autonomous objects. For example, think about a drone. A drone could receive payments to pick something up and deliver it to a place. With this payment, the drone could fly to a charging station to charge himself. Even if it needs replacement or needs to be repaired, it could fly to someone to repair themselves, and they have money to pay. So you could think about a completely autonomous drone or completely autonomous car. That the car manufacturer still owns it and makes money because people are using it. But the car could pay for its electricity, could pay for when it needs to be repaired, and the user paying it when they use it. So I think this machine-to-machine communication will end up a new level of interoperability between objects, and of course also between humans, because we can interact with those objects. That's what I see in the future, and that's, I think, the exciting thing, that the blockchain technology enables those objects to enter into agreements to receive payments, to send payments. This is a complete new level of IoT, because currently IoT is just about a lot of data and making sense of data. But this is a new level when they are able to do such things. So that's what we hope to do. But of course, I think the first use case is decentralizing the sharing economy. And I hope I invite everyone to participate in our DAO, because it's actually the first real DAO which will hold, hopefully, a considerable amount of money. And if you participate in this DAO, you can vote on what we do, which projects we work on, and send us money to do certain things, and you will get rewards when all those things are used. So I think it's also a unique opportunity for everyone.
How does somebody participate in the Slock.It DAO? Do you have your own tokens within Ethereum?
Yeah, so we will very soon announce the starting date when we make a sale. Basically, people can put Ether in the DAO and get DAO tokens. We also work together with exchanges or like Shapeshift to accept almost any cryptocurrency. But it's not just like a token sale, a classic one, where we just get all the money, because we actually get none of the money. The DAO keeps the money, and the one buying DAO tokens stays in control of the money. They then, after they have funded the DAO, they then will vote who to give money to. So they actually could say, we don't like Slock.It, and give the money to someone else to work for us. But we, of course, hope we make the first offer to the DAO, what we will build for them, and hope they will give us money. But it's a unique system of raising funds by creating a decentralized autonomous organization. But so it will start very soon.
And then those tokens have the potential to pay dividends on DAO earnings, is that correct?
Yes, you could say so. Mm-hmm. Basically, because if they accept our offer, then we would include this reward system, mm-hmm. which gives them something like dividends.
Mm-hmm. And would the dividends be issued via human? Like, would it take someone on your team to pay out dividends? Or would that all take place on the blockchain? And whichever Ether had been paid to use the Slock.It dApp, a percentage of that would automatically get kicked out as dividends.
Exactly. I mean, if our company would not be around anymore, the lock is paying the DAO. It's completely happening without us. So I usually don't call it shares and dividends, because we don't sell any shares of our company. Our company is not paying out dividends. It's just the DAO makes an investment into a product, and this product will pay them. And this product will continue to pay them as long as the product is alive or not destroyed, but not depending on our company. So we are not paying them at all. The product is doing so. We just implement the rule in this product that each time it is used, mm-hmm. the DAO gets paid.
Well, that is fascinating, Christoph. Do y'all have like a Twitter account or something? Like, how can people stay updated for when those locks actually come out and are usable?
First, go to our website, Slock.It, and there's a mailing list you can contribute. We have a Slack where you can go on, discuss. We have over 1,600 people on our Slack to discuss those things. So a lot of people there. And on Twitter, we have at Slock.It Project. You can follow our tweets.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for your time, Christoph. Have a lovely day.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good day too.
Today's episode is brought to you by BitShares, a currency whose wallet comes with a decentralized exchange where user-issued assets can be swapped. And you can even try issuing your own user-issued asset. Yes, I am not kidding. Whether the tokens represent tickets to an event, shares in your company, or membership in your club. You can learn more about how to do this and get your own BitShares web wallet at openledger.info. And we at the Daily Decrypt, both the manservant and I, would just like to give a hearty thank you to those of our viewers who we notice are tipping us in various cryptos, some of which we notice come in on a regular weekly basis, which probably means you're using the ProTip browser extension. So thanks so much. We are happy and honored to serve.